Hello everybody and welcome back. I am KRX and we're going to be taking a look at Wingspan with the European expansion. That's what this little snow owl here is telling us all about, is that we have the European expansion finally for the Steam digital version of this very popular board game. And we're going to be sort of taking a rematch against the AI here. It was a very close game the first time that we first time we recorded with the European expansion. The European expansion, we're just going to, I guess we'll just be playing and we'll be finding new birds and talking about them and exploring more that the European expansion has to offer. But really the European expansion is nice because it really just fits right into the core game and just gives you more, like actually last game we played, right? We had a lot of those end of round bonus cards, which seemed like we were doing quite well and synergizing those together quite well. But in the end, it wasn't actually enough. So let's see if we can do a little bit better this time. Thanks everybody for being here. If you guys have any questions or comments, guys, I read and respond to all the comments on this YouTube channel, every single one. So, you know, it's a great way to get my attention there. So the AI is thinking apparently, even though they're AI. Let's look at the... Oh, the mascot bird is in play here. The scissor-tailed flycatcher, which is the one on the Wingspan box. 8 victory points to play this sucker down. All players gain a... That's not a particularly amazing power, though. Draw new 2 bonus cards and keep 1. We kind of needed this last game, but it never came out. And then we have the fish crow. Discard an egg from any of your other birds to gain a food of your choice from the supply. That's really strong. It's only 2 to play. It's 6 points. It goes into any habitat. This is a bird we might want to kind of grab sooner rather than later. All players gain a berry from the supply. I don't really like giving my opponents food if I can help it. Oh, we need to fill columns. The very first goal for this round is a European expansion goal, and it's filled columns. So what that means is it wants you to fill... actually, we can't open that up. It wants you to have one bird, a set of birds in your... the left, basically it wants us to have a bird in our forest, a bird in our grasslands, and a bird in our wetland at the very first round. It's going to be basically impossible for anyone to get 2 birds, 2 columns done, but getting 1 column done is probably going to get you that win, or at least tied for victory in the first round. Tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. Draw 1 for each card you tuck. That's actually really cool. And it goes to the wetlands. We would want a strategy. This would want us to have a strategy where we were... This would require a strategy where we're drawing a lot of cards. Northern Harrier. Look at a card for the deck. So it's a predator card, but it's a very cheap predator card. Only 1 mouse. 3 points, couple egg slots. This bird, you could play it for any food. It's 4 victory points. It goes into any habitat. This is such an easy bird to get out. Do we assume that us getting food is more valuable than our opponents getting food? I'm not going to lie. I like a number of these cards. The rough is really, really good. But you need to be generating a lot of cards to pull this off. We could try to get both of these. This plays in the wetlands. We could try to get 2 cards just quick into the wetlands, just boom, boom, and try to be drawing a lot of cards. This doesn't, see, the thing is, this doesn't actually really get us cards. This doesn't get us cards either. The fish crow doesn't get us cards. None of these cards get us cards, extra cards. So we'd still only be drawing 2 cards from the wetlands per turn, which isn't great. And if we put them both in the wetlands, we wouldn't be working on a filled column. Yeah, I'm not that interested in this. Oh, anytime you may spend? Oh, that's kind of interesting, actually. Huh. Don't need it, though. Let's look at it. Let's see if our bonus cards will help us decide here. Birds with crevice nests. For each column that contains birds with 3 different power colors. each column. Well, this would be a teal. This would be a brown. This is pretty tough to do. Birds must have a crevice or neither of these are. We're not looking at the crevice birds. That's not a crevice bird. Yeah, so I think honestly this is a tough one, but I think we'll go with the behavioralist. So we're gonna really focus on the column game. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Let's get a rat. Let's get this. Then really we can kind of get anything here, but let's get a fish for the fish crow. Oh no, this might take a little bit of time to get going here. This might be a little bit of a slow start. I usually, I apologize guys, I do take a little bit of time at the opening hand, because really that is kind of like, that is the most important decision you're going to make in the game. And unfortunately, a lot of times you draw those 5 cards, there isn't like an obvious no-brainer play. You know what I mean? It is kind of just, you're not going to just see an amazing combo with 5 cards. The deck in this game is literally 250 cards large. So just drawing 5 cards with a giant deck, you're not going to see all the amazing synergies just immediately. We really technically don't even need to play this till the end of the round. But if we're going to be doing the behavioralist, we kind of want this down, like, kind of first. Let's just, whoa. Oh, we have to spend the fish to play it. That's right. Oh, well. We're going to get the rough down. Then what we're going to do is we're going to lay eggs on it so that we can actually spend those eggs to get 2 cards when we draw. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we're going to lay eggs on it so that we can actually play the Northern Harrier into this spot, which requires an egg. Yeah, and then we'll just be drawing 2 cards without having to spend eggs. We'll still have 1 egg left over in our back pocket. So, yeah, so let's get those eggs. Then we're going to hopefully get the fish crow, which we'll have to build the food up for that. Fish crow will be able to go into the forest. I don't know what's going to go into our grassland slot, though. Because ideally it needs to be a card that isn't brown. And this is so hard to do. If we might not... man, we got this teal here, too. I don't know. That's going to be tricky. This is going to be very tricky. If we could score this twice, that would be good enough. I don't know if any of the AI are going to get filled columns done, to be honest. Playing 1 bird in each habitat is a good sort of opening. It's not a very specialized strategy, right? You kind of want to get 2 birds in 1 habitat to get up to this 3rd column where your power really gets a lot stronger. But no, the fish crow is gone. The fish crow is gone. Gain 1 supply from the supply cache it on this card. At any time, you may spend the food cached on this card. Of course, it's a crevice nest bird as well. It's fairly cheap bird, but not like it. Let's draw for the top, see what we get. I like this card. I like this card a lot. Getting into play, it would be possible. It would be possible. We totally wouldn't be working on filled columns if we did this, though. Question is, do we draw another one from here, or do we draw the cold hit? Ah, man, random from a giant deck, or one that maybe we could use. Ugh, that's painful. Okay, we want small bird. Ooh, oh wow, little owl. Holy cow! This Northern Harrier just took out that little owl, that cute little owl. I'm almost thinking we draw again. just to really kind of see what we're working with here, because I'm not really that thrilled about either of these. And we want some cards left over at the end of the turn because we can just tuck them under the rough and get new cards. So having a lot of extra cards left over, there's nothing wrong with that. This actually, we kind of want this card, believe it or not. This card wouldn't be bad either. I want to get a cheaper one though. Oh, that's certainly not cheaper. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a bowl nest. Small bird, small bird, small bird. Nice. So our bird is doing some hunting over here. Northern Harrier is successfully hunting. Feels pretty good. This is a white power bird, which is needed for the second round bonus. And technically, there's no way in a million years we could get this column done. But we could do one a column for a behavioralist. Because this is a white, and then we could do a brown in the top. So if we play this bird here, we'll be able to get a column with all different colored powers. This is so goofy, but I think I might just draw more cards here. Draw 2 cards from the deck, tuck 1 behind this bird and keep the other. That's pretty good. There we go. This is the kind of card we needed. That'll let us get out. That'll let us get out a couple quickly into the forest. It's a cheap bird that can just get thrown into the forest. It's also a win plate. That's actually that's we're gonna be able to make that work, I think. Instead of paying any costs, you may play this bird on top of another bird. When your player may not discard any eggs, food from that bird, it becomes a tucked card. Not really that impressed with those. Small bird, small bird. Nice. This bird is hunting over here. Okay. Now we need food. Problem is the food that's available there is not good. I guess the fish isn't we could take the fish. We need caterpillar, we need grain. We need caterpillar more than anything. This is a very weird turn. Usually I get more birds down in the first round. But we're kind of trying to set up for a secret goal. We are I don't know. Do we have 3 cards that we're going to happily discard? I think this is too expensive. We're discarding this one. And I mean discard by putting it under the rough. So that one's going to go under the rough. I think this one could probably go under the rough. I want that card. I want that card. I probably kind of need to keep that card. And maybe we just risk it and we get rid of this card too. Yeah, so I think those are the 3. Just go get food from the bird feeder. I really need I guess we could take the berry. Or no, we'll take the grain. I need a caterpillar though. I need caterpillars more than all this other stuff. We're going to do this. So let's discard this one. This one. And this one. Those are going underneath, but then we get to draw 3 cards. Okay, here we go. Here's a nice cheat. Oh, when another bird in the same pay its normal cost. That's similar to this one. We don't need a second one like that. Unless we could play this one in the grasslands. No, let's just draw from the deck. Another predator. If it's the right, this is a really good bird to grab. another wind-played bird, a cheap one that can go into the... Okay, there we go. I'm fairly happy with those. Someone actually did complete a column. Good for them. Man, okay, we're off to... This has been a weird start. Okay, this has been reset. What do we have? Do we have food to actually be able to play any of these down? Yeah, so that seems to be no. If we played this bird... When activated... Do we have an egg lying around? We do have one egg lying around. If we played this bird, we could spend a grain for it. Then we would want to play another bird into our forest. Do we have a bird to go into our forest? This would probably be the bird that goes into our forest. Yeah. This one requires a couple rats. Which, yeah, I'm seeing that rat there, but... This is not what we need. Okay, well, we could take the berry. And then we need to come back for a caterpillar. Ugh, that's painful. This is extremely painful. We need to get birds into the forest. But if we can get one, we just need one caterpillar. And we could play 2 birds at once into the forest. And then that we could start getting 2 food at a time. That would be very good. There's no caterpillar in that supply, though. We're getting so insanely unlucky. This is nuts. Now I'm actually thinking we could technically play this, and then we could play this. Those are 2 wind blades. We're talking about playing... we'd have to spend all of our food to make up for the rat. Or we could just go and get a rat. Oh man, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this. We'll still have a fish and a grain left over. Okay, we're given a food. We were just given a food from somebody. So does that change anything here? Means we can play this. Yeah, let's use the berry. If we had one more rat, we could... Yeah, let's go get it. Let's go get a rat to be able to play this. Let's move this guy to the wetlands where we'll need to get some more birds, I think. When we played this card into the grasslands, we don't need to spend an egg. We don't have any eggs because this will be in the first column. Oh, nice. We're getting some free stuff here. Our opponents are now giving us free food. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have just completed one column for the behavioralist. Oof, that's a lot of work. And with our 2 caterpillars, I think honestly we'll probably play this into the forest. But we need an egg for that. So we could lay 2 eggs. We could lay 3 eggs if we're willing to spend a food. But honestly, the food it's been excruciatingly painful trying to get this food. So it's saying the next round's going to need eggs and platform nests. Let's just load up that guy then. Nice. So he successfully hunts as well. So we're piling up brown cards into the wetlands. These are white cards that can get piled up here. So we need either teal cards or pink cards to go in the middle. And I haven't seen any other teal cards or pink cards. That's another white power bird. So that'll be 2. We should win that bonus then. Oh no, I forgot that we needed cards left over for this. Discard all remaining face up. I like this card. Do you know what? No, this is... I think the opportunity to tuck these is probably better. We need teal cards. Or pink cards. There we go. We won that second goal of having the most white colored powers. This is a pink card. When another player plays a bird in a caterpillar for the spot, that's not bad. It's cheap. It can go into the slot that we need. I think we want this card. Yeah, we want this card. So let's just go in. What the heck? Man, I don't really want to spend it'd be inefficient not to. Let's just spend the egg that we have. Get this. So we need that one. There's a teal card. Choose any one player, including yourself, cash for that. Okay, we actually have some predator cards, so I like that. Okay. This is one we could just discard at the end of the turn. This is one we could probably just discard at the end of the turn. Oh, we get to move this around now. I'd like to move him to here, but we're going to be playing birds into that section next. We don't want to trap that bird. So we need to move him up to the woodlands. Small bird, small bird, small bird. Giant bird, whooping crane, 221 centimeter wingspan. Holy cow, we're definitely not going to... The northern harrier's not going to be able to hunt that. So yeah, I think we're just going to be playing birds into here. And that should be another column completed there. For a total of 6 points with the behavioralist. Which honestly, it's not the end all be all. We're maybe focusing on this a little bit too much. But I think that's okay. We got to lay eggs first. Whoops. I'm also realizing we don't actually have the appropriate amounts of types of food. I'm going to spend one of our rats, though. Well, no, take that back. I'm just going to lay 2 eggs. Except for we need those eggs in platform nests for the end of round bonus here. Small bird gets eaten. Is this bird really going to get us much? Oh. Someone literally just gave us a caterpillar that we need to play this bird. Well, I guess that tells us we need to play this bird. Behaviorless, 2 columns. We haven't played it yet because we got to spend the egg. I was like, why are we not getting credit for this yet? There it is, 6 points. Choose a card. Not that impressed with either of these. Probably just be a card we end up discarding in the end, but that's okay. We need cards to be able to discard in the end, so. Let's go get some more food. I don't really love the cards that we have right now. It's gonna be a decent one just to play. Let's go get some more food. What are we looking at here? We need grain to play this, grain and a caterpillar to play that. I'm going to discard a card. And we'll just get another rat. I don't know, we'll just pile up on rats and hope. Now, if someone gave us a caterpillar right now, that would be fantastic. When another player plays, gain 1. Oh, nice. Wait, what? Yeah, we our bird triggered here. Someone played a bird into their forest. We got a caterpillar. Wow, that was perfect. Let's play this bird here. Our last turn this round is going to have to be to lay eggs, because we're going to need as many eggs in the platform nest as we can. And it looks like we're only going to be able to lay 4 eggs, but they'll all be in platform nests. Let's see, how are our opponents doing on that? 6. Okay, so we're going to get second place. It's better than nothing. Nice. More successful hunting. And we can't even underestimate how many points this rough is going to give us at the end of the bit, because we're just going to discard all these. And that's going to just get us 3 new cards anyways. Yeah, I'd like to get some cards that have a little bit more. Oh, this is a good one. Bonus cards. 4 points. Relatively cheap to play. That's a great bird for right now. And it is what it is. This is a fantastic bird for your opening hand. Not so great for us now. But we are tucking cards under this rough. We'll take second place. And this rough now has 8 cards. This rough is worth 10 points. And we're going to tuck more cards at the end of the game under it too. So where does this get played? It gets played in the forest. Oh. We could just play it now. So we get to pick one of these bonus cards here. Birds that eat rats. I feel like we have a few birds that eat rats, right? There's 1. Just 2. So that'd be 4 points. Better than... We have no birds with colors in their names. Oh, actually... We have 3, but we need 4 to score 3 points. This is worth more points, even just without doing anything. So we'll go with that option. That's 4 points. So we played this bird here, which is worth 4 points, and we gained 4 points, but we paid by having this objective. We lost 1 point when we had to use the egg, though. But overall, I'd say that's fairly solid there. We're going to draw a couple cards because we need one more card to tuck under the rough at the end of the phase. And this card will be able to go hunting. So that's going to end up being potentially 2 points there. And this bird is going to move to here, where we could start getting 4 eggs for the final go of the final go. The interesting thing is we could technically score the behavioralist one more time if we had a different kind of power that we could play here, but like this end of round one counts double towards end of round scoring. That doesn't help us much. And it can't be, because it can't be played in the wetlands. Go to the grasslands. Nice, more successful hunting. Okay. Actually we lay a 5th egg here every time we do this. And we do a little hunting. I think honestly it's just eggs, eggs, eggs the whole way down. Let's make sure we're putting them on the ground nest, because the end of round bonus here is for ground nests. We are not going to move this bird. So this bird is asking, do I move to another habitat? No, you're just going to stay there, and we're just going to keep getting 4 eggs. Small bird. Another giant bird. This falcon keeps running into the biggest birds. This other bird is doing a great job at hunting, but this one's just like struggling a little bit. Keeps like finding giant swans and stuff. Whooping cranes. Now we're leaving a little bit of room here because they will do a little bit more. All those are bowl nests. Looks like we're full. Take the rest of the eggs and just spread them around. Skipping this power. Nope. Not going to be hunting a common buzzard. So this bird is struck. That could have been 2 or 3 points, but instead they're failing to hunt. Last turn. More eggs coming down. Tons of room for eggs up here. At this point we could move that bird, but it doesn't give us, if we move it to here, it won't be a column bonus, unfortunately. We could do it just for the aesthetics of having nice distribution there, but small bird this time. Another giant bird? The white stork? Are you kidding me? 3 failed hunts? This is what I'm talking about, right? There was that one bird that's only hunts things that are less than 50 centimeters, and we're drawing like 150, 200s, like over 100s. This bird hunted successfully almost every single time, but... So that's one of our big strategies was tucked birds. I don't think having cards in our hand is worth anything at the end, but 11 tucked cards into that rough. Oh, and we actually had the most eggs there, so we get the 7 points there. So we did, 0 on the first one. Green didn't do that well in the other rounds. I think we did better on those, but we'll see how we did this time. I think we won this one. Am I crazy? Although they had 9 more points than just birds. Like we had better in bonus scoring, and we had better in round scoring, and that's eggs. Some of them had no eggs, or no, very few eggs, and we had all those tuck cards. 94 points. Last time we scored 75, so this guy would have been close to our old score, but that was a 94-point game. Definitely not a record for me, but there we go. We have beaten the AI. There we go. We have won Wingspan. Thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think. I read all the comments, guys. I don't know how much more Wingspan we'll need to do, because I don't know if there's too much value in these little playthroughs against the AI and stuff. And like I said, the multiplayer, I do think we're going to be doing some on our Twitch channel, right? So if you want to check that out, we'll be doing some multiplayer on our Twitch channel. So that can be fun. And then obviously during when you're waiting for your turn, you just chat with the chat and everything, and that's a good time. But in terms of just the YouTube recordings, I think we've covered this sufficiently well. I think people would have a good sense of how the game plays and whether they'd enjoy it or not. But it's a fun physical game, sort of a gateway plus game. It's good if you're interested in board games. It's one to check out. If you're already deep into modern board games, then you already know all about it and you know whether you'd like it or not. Truth is, if you're like sort of really into board games, you can kind of skip this one, right? You're probably doing other things, more specialized niche games or more advanced games that you might enjoy a little bit more. Thanks everybody for being here, though. I'll see you guys in the next one.